Serena Williams, more of that. So Serena Williams is proving that she really is a triple threat. Beautiful, intelligent, thoughtful, sophisticated, obviously incredible athlete, mother, friend, whatever, incredible athlete, investor. She may be a quadruple threat, I don't know, but she's a businesswoman without question and is invested in 85 businesses that I guess her family venture fund has put money in over her career. And it appears a dozen of those have company valuations into the $1 billion range, which is, I don't know her portfolio, so I can't give you details on it, but it doesn't mean that she owns all the company, by the way. It means she made some smart bets and the bets paid off. In other words, companies that she invested in rolled up into a larger overall valuation that she benefits from because she was an early venture capital investor. So kudos to her. I don't care what the structure is. It's a positive thing. And I love how you can see her sort of doing her makeup and she's explaining very casually, very confidently, very comfortably the structure of her investments. She clearly knows what she's talking about. I want you to become an investor also. You may not be able to do it the way Serena Williams has done it, and that's okay. But you can do it the way you need to do it. And that might be even fractional investing. So you're not Serena and her sister Venus, but maybe you don't play tennis either. But she can't roll and do some of the things that you do as a talent and a gift. Your life is different. Your life is appropriate for you. So it may get all the way down to what I call fractional investing, which is you may find that you only have $300 to invest. And the companies that you dream about may be $3,000 stocks, or it might be $100,000 worth of a stock basket, but you've got $300. But with fractional investing, you can still invest in those businesses successfully, getting a fraction of each of those companies that you believe in their stock for your portfolio. Did you know that? You can also open a stock account, a proper stock account. You can do one online through one of the online brokerage companies, and buy whole shares of stock. You can buy digital currencies and crypto if you want, if that's your thing. You can buy a range of, which is more in the riskier basket, these digital investments, which I'm not saying don't do or don't do. I'm just saying don't put your rent money in it. And you can also choose to invest in a mutual fund where you're sharing a risk basket. That's another option for you. You can invest in commercial paper, which is not traded on Wall Street, is more risk, but it tends to be more reward. I'm actually recommending you don't do that. I'm just giving you the scale. You can invest in a private placement, which is a private offering of stock. Make sure that your lawyer checks that out if you decide to do that. You can invest in a crowdfunding platform if you like. Some small businesses raising some money in your neighborhood or some family member, and you decide to invest in the crowdfunding opportunity. That could pay off for you. You can invest directly into a business, as my family does with somebody that we know, and they've got a wellness business that serves a certain clientele in New Jersey, and is one example, and they need XYZ to get equipment and certifications, and maybe we invested in that directly and got shares as a result of that. So I've just given you all the way from something that's very removed from you and very fractionalized, a fractional share investing, all the way up through buying a share of a publicly traded company, then participating in a mutual fund investment vehicle, which is probably the least risky, to all the way through smaller cap investing, um, all the way up through, again, I'm not suggesting you don't do commercial paper. That's very sophisticated and high risk. I'm suggesting you don't do that. All the way up through finding a brick and mortar business that you want to back with your $500, $1,500, $2,500, $25,000. Make sure that you understand the risk and you check with an attorney, etc. And you may decide that that's what you want to, and maybe that business is just located right around the corner from you. You may decide just to do that, or you may decide to just go start a business. You can do that through 1 Million Black Business Initiative, and you don't invest anything but your time and your energy. That's an option for you as well. But I suggest you just do something, right? I want you to do something and start somewhere. Serena didn't just start at the top of the market investing. She was making money as a tennis player, wasn't making money for a long time, and she wasn't investing. When she started making money, she understood the difference between making money and building wealth. You make money during the day, you build wealth in your sleep, and she was very good, it appears, at the building wealth in your sleep part. So now her wealth is actually really coming from the investments and not her professional tennis career. Anybody who became a billionaire, by the way, in professional sports or the arts did not do it through professional sports or the arts. They all went corporate. Think about LeBron. Think about Magic Johnson. Whoever your hero or shero is, they got the profile in the arts, the public figure profile. You know them as a celebrity, but they leveraged that and went and cut a deal with corporate America, got shares, equity in a corporate entity or some kind of participation in Dr. Dre and headphones, and that's how they became billionaires. I hope this has been helpful. This is John Hope Bryant, Money and Wealth. This is the iHeartRadio Black Effect Network podcast series. John Hope Bryant on Money and Wealth, dropping new episodes every Thursday. See you soon. Hey, this is John Hope Bryant, Money and Wealth on the Black Effect Network podcast series on iHeart. I got to start using codes now. There's so much financial shenanigans going on and folks trying to separate you from your wallet. I'm going to start using like sign language. Like, I don't mean like literal sign language, no disrespect intended there. I mean like financial signs, like make stuff obvious. What I mean by that is green light, red light, like do it, don't do it. So this one's a red light. This is a bright red light. So my man, Sir James Buchanan, who is one of my assistants and has been invaluable to me and Operation Hope and my family, who's just a good guy, who's also just sort of a very common sense financial literacy genius and what I call a bush attorney. Like he's not really an attorney, but he's the dude that real attorneys don't jump out of a bush somewhere because he's smarter than them, and he's just real studied. Like he don't play, and he loves hard, and so he's got a very solid credit score. And I don't want to get in this business and tell you exactly what his credit score is, but it's solid. Just take my word for it. And he works at Operation Hope as a chief community officer, in addition to being my assistant. And he called me one day. He said, John, I can't believe this, man. Like my credit score is solid. I know what it is. he can go to a bank and get a line of credit if he wants. And what happened was he got this notice in the mail from a finance company. I'm not going to name the name. It's not important. But you need to know how to defend yourself from folks trying to separate you from your wallet. Um, this is not personal. This is business. And folks, business, some people's business is to separate you from your wallet, from your resources. And this company sent my man a note saying, sent him a check. So if you got your friends watching and listening to this podcast and you want them to cut to the quick, just tell them to go to minute 235, right? Because that's where this story starts. There was a check, endorsable check in the letter. Now, Sir James didn't ask for this, didn't request this, didn't reach out to anybody. Folks just came to him, sent him a note, and said, here's $1,400. Now, I'm going to put this in a context. 70% of this country is living from paycheck to paycheck. The largest economy in the world. This is why I say financial literacy is a civil rights issue of this generation. The largest economy in the world. 70% of all Americans, not poor people, all people are living from paycheck to paycheck. Folks got too much month at the end of their money. I think it's something like 60% of Americans in change don't have $400 for an unplanned event. Half of those making $100,000 a year live from paycheck to paycheck. So you know that I'm talking to you, every one of you listening to this. I don't care what your economic situation might be, or as my dad would say, situation. If you're making $250,000 a year, a third of those living from paycheck to paycheck. Can I get an amen? It's the church of what's happening now. What have you done for me lately? You live in Manhattan, New York. Hello. And you make $100,000 a year. It feels like $39,000 a year in Manhattan because the cost of living is so high. So wherever you are, this message is for you. Because when my man got this check for $1,400, he realized what this company was doing, enticing people to disconnect their brain and connect their surviving mindset and their depression and their anxiety and the fact they got too much month into their money and they're trying to figure out which bill to pay. It's like Russian roulette at the kitchen table on Friday, which bill to pay. And they know that when they see a notice like this and somebody just says, you're pre-approved, not actually you're approved right now, actually just endorse this check and deposit it, the money's yours. He knows that most people that get this, a good number of people are just going to say, my God, this is fantastic, just what I needed. And they're going to endorse that check and take that money. Now, my man reads, and he read the fine print. And this is what the print said. He tells me in this note, Chairman, the attached letter was sent uh, uh, to him, and uh, they would, he hadn't applied for a loan with his company and hadn't asked him for anything. It just sent him a real check, and all you do to do it, it says just deposit it, and the funds are immediately available to you. The issue with these types of offers, he says, is that with a hefty prepayment, it comes with a hefty prepayment penalty and other processing fees, and gives you a payback over 15 months with an annual percentage rate, hold on now, of 40.76%. 40.76% is the annual APR, annual percentage rate, to pay back this loan. Let me now break this down into English. Why this is red light, red light, red light. Loan amount $1,400. We covered that. Prepaid finance charges, prepaid. Now you haven't cashed this check. The minute you cash this check, prepaid interest, $144.61. You owe that immediately. But when I was gotten started yet, prepaid finance charges and pre-computed interest. Now pre-computed interest alone is $220.59. You haven't even written it. The minute you deposit this check, okay, you owe this. It's like sharecropping. This is pimping. This is financial pimping. Like sharecroppers, no matter how hard they work, you'll never pay the man off. You'll never get ahead. So let me continue. Write these numbers down now. $144.61 in prepaid finance charges, $220.59 in pre-computed interest, 8% origination fee, which is a prepaid finance charge, $48. 4% origination fee. This is another origination fee, another prepaid finance charge of $46.61. They're just making this stuff up. Why would you have two prepaid finance? Why would you have two origination fees? Closing fees, $50. That's a prepaid finance charge. What's a closing cost? There's no closing cost. They've already written the documentation and the loan agreement before they send it to you. Total of monthly maintenance charges, $45. What is a monthly maintenance charge? You sent me a check and told me what the monthly payments are. It's already laid out. What are you maintaining? I guess it's a servicing fee for the 46% interest that you're charging me. 40.76% interest you're charging me. Total of monthly maintenance charges, $45. The grand total of said fees are $410.20. The fees are assessed regardless, and you may be subject to a refund of said fees if you pay the loan off early. But in most cases, you won't get a dime back because there's all kind of carve outs and subject tos and whereases in the agreement. You end up paying back nearly $2,000 on a $1,400 loan in a year. And you could just walk down to the bank if you got a decent credit score. Operational can help you with this and get a 12%, 11% credit card. If you have decent credit, 14% credit card for sure, and no fees. None of this stuff applies. And you're good to go. Maybe even qualify for a modest line of credit. Maybe if you have a home equity line of credit, costs you next to nothing. A consumer loan. There's all kind of options for you. But you shouldn't be paying $40.76 to some stranger who's hitting you up with almost $500 with $400 in prepaid charges before you even say boo. And then you got to pay this payment back every month of $120.66, which is money that you don't think is a big problem to pay, but is not in part of your cash flow today. So it probably will be a problem to pay. And this company has calculated how many people are going to default. They realize that this is unsecured credit, but they're going after people who've got good credit scores. So these are not dumb people. These are not people who don't pay their bills. These are people who pay their bills, but may get caught up in the emotions of the moment. And remember, I told you, whenever you make an emotional decision, it's a bad one. And you get caught up in it. What did Malcolm X say? We've been bamboozled. We've been tricked. We've been fooled. So I want you to understand this is a game that's being played. It's being played on your emotions. It's being targeted to people who folks think are financially unsophisticated and are emotionally depressed and desperate, who are living in the moment with a surviving mindset. But you're not dumb and you're not stupid. It's what you don't know that you don't know that's killing you, but you think you know. And now I'm here to tell you that you can do better because I'm going to help you know better. Go to a Hope counselor today for free, and we will introduce you to folks that won't rob you blind, for whom we have no economic interest. Or don't go to who we introduce you to. Just have us educate you on the process and go to whoever you like. But you don't have to pay somebody almost 45% interest rate just because they found your email address and targeted you and made it easy. If success was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? Only in the dictionary does the word success come before the word work because it's alphabetical. Do not take these offers unless literally it is your only choice, because this will choke you. It will choke your cash flow and you until you economically die. All right, John Hope Bryant. This is the Money and Wealth podcast with John O'Brien on the Black Effect Network podcast network on iHeart. This is a red light.